What's going on YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another DC Comics news and update video. I talked about this on my live stream earlier, but I wanted to talk today about the potential Raven solo movie. So if you want to hear me discuss some of this more, you can check out the live stream I did earlier on today at the time of recording this thing. I'm going to be uploading a bunch of videos so I can have some stuff out there for this week and such, because now's my chance to start recording things. But yeah, so this news came out about, I think a week ago or so. Grace Randolph, who's from the YouTube channel Beyond the Trailer, who has some inside stuff at Warner Brothers, and she's been right on some things. I'll give her credit, but she's also been wrong on some things too. I think she said that Oscorp was going to be in, was it Spider-Man Homecoming, but they never ended up doing it, or it was one of the MCU Spider-Man movies. She said it was like, oh, this is going to happen, but it never ended up doing it. But she's been wrong on some things, but she has been right on some things too. So we got to take this with a grain of salt, because this is a rumor. This hasn't been officially announced. There's no writer, director. It just says that DC is in development of a Raven movie, also Zatanna stuff. But most of the trades in that were reporting on a Zatanna movie, but not really too many people talking about this potential Raven solo movie. So again, this is all potential rumor stuff. Nothing's been totally confirmed or anything like that, but it's definitely worth mentioning, because obviously on my channel there's a lot of Raven fans. I'm a huge Raven fan. Raven's probably my favorite female superhero of all time. I've been a big fan ever since I watched Teen Titans, the animated series, growing up. Then I went back and I read a lot of stuff. I read some of her solo books. The last one she had was Raven, Daughter of Darkness, which I thought was pretty enjoyable. You had her, and you had, was it Zachary Zatara? And I forget who else was in it. It's been a while since I read it, because there's a lot of different DC books. But again, I'm a big Raven fan. I really like Raven in general. I like her in the DC animated movie universe. And on Titans, well, the less we say about the Titans show, the better. But hopefully with a live-action Raven solo movie, we can do better than Titans. I mean, it can't be that hard. It's Titans. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Grace mentioned, they're in active development. Again, this is a Raven solo movie, so this wouldn't be a Teen Titans movie. Although I feel like if you're going to do a Raven solo movie, it should lead into a Teen Titans movie. Although you should probably have at least one Titans member in the movie too, at least to kind of have a co-lead with Raven. Because like I said, a lot of Raven's movies are tied to the Titans. It is kind of important to have that thing. But then again, I think you still could do a solo movie. I mean, they did a solo Joker movie without Batman. They did a solo Venom movie without Spider-Man, which, results hit or miss for a lot of people. But that movie made a ton of money, and we're getting Venom 2, and they're eventually going to cross over with Spider-Man. So I still think Raven is a strong enough character to stand on her own. She doesn't necessarily... The Titans are an important part of her origins and backstory and, introduction to the comics, because her intro was with the Teen Titans. But she is a strong enough character who can stand on her own. So if I were to do a Raven solo movie, again, you could have a co-lead in there. You probably want to do something in terms of villains. Trigon is a big one, but maybe you might want to save that for later on. I don't know what you would... I don't know. It's kind of tricky to do a Raven solo. Again, she's had some great solo stuff too. I read Raven, Daughter of Darkness. I really like that. But that's coming from a Raven who's already established within the world of DC. Excuse me. But this is you're trying to do introduce... I don't know where this is going to be set. Is it going to be in the DC extended universe? Is this part of a multiverse thing? It's all up in the air. Maybe this leads into a Teen Titans thing. I really don't know. I'm totally lost with what they could be doing with this thing. But again, I think there's a lot of potential you can have it. You can have Raven just kind of be on the run the whole movie, and maybe she meets somebody who kind of helps her survive. Maybe Brother Blood. Maybe it's Hive. Maybe there's people in the cult of Trigon or something like that are after Raven, or trying to use her as a conduit to bring Trigon to the world. You don't have to have Trigon necessarily in the movie. You could have some other spiritual baddies in there. But it would be good for Raven to have at least one ally. And again, Grace brought up a point that you could have somebody else alongside the movie. You could even tie it into the Zatanna movie. I think maybe if you bring in a Zachary Zatara, who's Zatanna's, was it cousin? Yeah, you could do that too. Or as she mentioned, you could bring in Damian Wayne, which again ties back into why it was popular with the DCAMU. So you could have something there. Maybe the League of Assassins is after as a target or something, and they send in Damian, and he's like, no, this is wrong. Then you go meet Batman. I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of different possibilities that you could do with a Raven solo movie. I think in terms of villains, I would probably go with Brother Blood and his followers as the villains for a Raven solo movie. Maybe they're after Raven just as a conduit to bring in Trigon, or something kind of along the lines of that, or maybe Hive, or maybe Amanda Waller's after her. I don't know. There's a lot of different angles you can attack this type of movie. There's so many possibilities you can do with this Raven movie. Again, I think you should have at least one other Teen Titans member, maybe a Starfire. Robin would be really cool. Beast Boy, I'm kind of hesitant to bring because I think Beast Boy would work best like with the Titans per se. I mean, he is a good character, but I wouldn't really want to see him in a Raven solo movie. Necessarily, unless maybe as a cameo or something, not as like a co-lead throughout the whole thing. Because again, they tried doing like several episodes of Titans centered around them, and it just wasn't clicking with me. But then again, that's Titans, so Titans isn't a good example of how to do Raven and everything right, because it's Titans. I'll just leave it at that. The less I say about Titans, the better. I think that show had so much potential and just been throwing it down the drain. But I think with a lot of money behind it and some good actors, I don't know how you cast. I don't know what age you cast Raven. You could go the young teenager route, which has been proven to be successful, or you could kind of go like a little bit more of an adult Raven. I think it'd be best to have Raven at a younger age, probably like beginning of her teenage years, and then perhaps by the end of the movie she meets up with like a Robin. I think a Raven and Robin co-lead would probably be one of the best angles to go. Or if not, you can get like Zachary Zatara and kind of go the like Justice League Dark, tie it into that, and I think that could be pretty successful. This is all speculation by me. It probably won't end up happening, and maybe they'll just kind of put it all into like a Teen Titans movie. But I still think a Raven solo movie could be cool, and there's a lot of potential in different like ways you could go about doing it. But again, it's all up in the air. This is coming from Grace Randolph, so I say take this speculation with a grain of salt. I would really like to see a Raven movie. Again, I'm a big Raven fan, and there's a lot of stuff you could do with it, but we'll just have to wait and see. So hopefully this movie happens. They bring in somebody. I know a lot of people want Damien to be in there. I think that'd be kind of cool. Or like I said, he'd be good. Maybe a Zachary Zatara would be another cool person. Some other Teen Titans members would be cool to see in there. Starfire would be a really good one to have in there. Again, all up in the air speculation at this point, but I just want to kind of talk about it and like maybe what you could potentially do with a Raven solo movie in live action, because like I know a lot of people, tied to the Titans. You could still make it work without the Titans necessarily, but you'd have to have a really good hook, a really good story with it, because Raven, like I said, is a strong enough character to stand on her own. But at this point, we'll just have to wait and see. So anyways, what are all of your thoughts on a potential Raven solo movie? Let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit that bell for notifications, like this video, share it, blah, 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 subscribe for more content. And yeah, that's all I have to say. As always, I really appreciate everybody for watching this and talking and all that other great stuff. Take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.